In this video, we're talking about one thing you can do with color grading that really is going to make your Mavic Mini footage stand out. So the last video that I put out was all about how to get cinematic footage out of your Mavic Mini. But there is some color grading tricks that I use to really make the footage pop. So out of camera, the Mavic Mini footage does look really good. However, if you do a little bit of color grading and you add this one filter, you're really going to make your footage stand out. Guys, if you're new here to this channel, my name is Jeven Dovey. I do filmmaking tutorials. I also do some YouTube training. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss one of these videos. So before we dive into Final Cut and I show you how to make this really stand out, I just want to let you know that you can do this on any editing software. You don't have to use Final Cut. And also, I just want to make a note. With the Mavic Mini, you are super limited with the colors that you're going to get out of this camera. It's a baked-in profile, so you can't push the footage that far in the color grade, and you really have to set up your shots when you're out shooting to get the best possible exposure so that when you get into the computer and when you start editing, you're not having to push the colors around that far to be able to get these awesome-looking images. So when you're shooting, just make sure that you're using best practices to get the best looking footage out of the Mavic Mini. And if you want some more guidance on how to shoot to get these cinematic shots, then I highly suggest checking out the first video that I did on the Mavic Mini all about getting cinematic B-roll. So the filter that I'm using to really make this footage stand out is a gradation filter. So it's not like any specific look. All it does is it chops off your footage at a certain point and then allows the footage underneath to pass through. And the reason that I use this is so that I can color grade the sky differently than the foreground. And you can create two different looks that when blended together really makes your footage pop. And the reason for this is that when you're using a gradation filter, it feathers between the two looks. So it blends the footage and it looks almost seamless. If you were to use just a hard cut, you would see the line across your footage. But what's happening with a gradation filter is that it's going from 100% of one shot into 0% of that shot, and it's gradually doing that over the footage. So let's jump into Final Cut and let me show you what you can do with this filter and how you can use color grading to really make your footage stand out. So this is the shot that we're going to be working with. This is a shot driving through the desert. We got this rainbow, the sunrise in the distance. There's a lot going on in the shot, and when you color grade it, it's gonna look really nice. However, the sky is gonna be different than the foreground. So I'm going to use a gradation tool to be able to color grade the sky differently than the foreground. Let's just do a quick color grade of what I want to do with the sky. I'm going to use Cinema Grade. That's what I use for all of my color grading, just because it gives me a lot more tools when it comes to color grading footage. You can see right here, it kind of looks like Lightroom, where you just have sliders instead of the tools that you typically find in Final Cut. I'll put a link down below in the description to where you guys can download a trial of this, but this is what I use and I love working in this. So let's just do a quick color grade. And I'm focused completely on the sky right now. Okay, so I just applied that. And you can see that it's made the sky look colorful and it has that really nice pop to it for a sunrise. However, the foreground is really dark. And so this is the issue when you want to color grade a contrasty shot like this. And when you're shooting drone footage, a lot of times you're gonna have a sky that's gonna need to be color graded differently than your foreground. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate this clip and I'm gonna just pop it right over the top of it. I'm just gonna turn off the top clip using V, that's my shortcut. And now I'm going to color grade the foreground. So I'm gonna go back in here, reset everything, and go back to color grading just for the foreground. So I'm not even gonna be focused on the sky. And so it's going to be a completely different look. I'm going to turn on the top clip so you can see how different these looks are. So now I'm going to turn my top clip on, the sky edit, and I'm going to use the plugin called Graduated Mask. So once you apply this, you're going to instantly see that it's going to take effect. But let's turn off the bottom clip so you can see what's happening. So I turned off the bottom clip and you can see that it goes from full image up top to none of the image down below. And this is only affecting my top layer, which is what I color graded for the sky. Now with this, there's going to be two tools. You can move the line up and down, or you can bring the fade closer or further apart. And when you bring the fade closer, what's happening is the gradation is going to be less. So it's going from dark to light much quicker. Whereas if you pull these points further apart, it's going to be a much more gradual fade from your image to no image. And ideally, you want to place this where your horizon is, where you want the change to happen, and have it gradually fade from one image to the other. And so now when I turn on the footage on the bottom, you can see that the color grade for the foreground is popping through. And that's how you can combine two different looks into one image super easily and be able to get these really interesting grades on your footage.